Guterres told the Council that there was now a serious risk that the conflict could ignite instability of dramatic proportions, from the Sahel to the Horn of Africa and the Red Sea, while in Sudan, fighting continues to rage across numerous states, resulting in the world's largest internal displacement crisis, currently at 6.3 million people.
It is time to silence the guns and raise the volume for peace. In just days, the holy month of Ramadan will commence. So from this chamber today, I'm making an appeal. I call on all parties in Sudan to honor the values of Ramadan by honoring a Ramadan cessation of hostilities. This cessation of hostilities must lead to a definitive silencing of the guns across the country and set out a firm path towards lasting peace for the Sudanese people. The values of Ramadan must prevail.
The experts' report says Darfur is experiencing its worst violence since 2005 and that an excess of mediation tracks, entrenched positions of the warring parties, in addition to competing regional interests, meant that those peace efforts have yet to stop the war, result in a political settlement, or address what is a deteriorating humanitarian crisis in the country. The World Food Programme warned this week that the war in Sudan risks triggering the world's largest hunger crisis, with over 25 million people across Sudan, South Sudan and Chad trapped in a spiral of deteriorating food insecurity. The UN chief said they were already receiving reports of children dying from malnutrition, echoing scenes currently being witnessed in Gaza.
It is also critical to address the chronic food insecurity crisis in parts of Darfur and other hard-to-reach areas. Countless lives are at stake and time is of essence. In accordance with the Jeddah Declaration, authorities must allow full and immediate humanitarian access to all vulnerable populations, regardless of where they are and who controls the area. All routes must be utilized, including both road and air corridors, to maximize the aid response and save lives, and all routes must remain open to allow a steady and sustainable flow of assistance and not be subject to burdensome and unreasonable restrictions or impediments. We encourage the Sudanese authorities to ensure the swift implementation of these measures and to continue efforts to facilitate humanitarian access, including across conflict lines.
Warning further that the human rights situation continued to spiral out of control, with indiscriminate attacks by both the RAF and the SAF that have killed or injured a significant number of civilians.
We see continuing and widespread looting, arbitrary arrests, enforced disappearances, torture, recruitment and detention of children, alongside the shrinking of civic space. We're also receiving troubling reports of systematic conflict-related sexual violence, including rape and gang rape, as well as abduction and trafficking for the purpose of sexual exploitation. I call on the parties to uphold their obligations under international humanitarian law, to protect civilians, and to facilitate safe and unimpeded humanitarian access as they have committed to.
Thank you, Secretary-General, for your sobering update.
The United Kingdom, the pen holder in the Council on Sudan, says it's introduced a draft resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire before Ramadan, a draft it hopes to put to a vote by Friday. Siobhan Riceby's SABC News, New York.